video, I just want to say don't forget to smash that like button down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified every time I upload, and comment down below your thoughts about it. Don't forget to enjoy! Hello everybody, this is the next session in the relationship workshop, and we have some good things for you today, so hope you're going to join us. Even if not here, at least you'll watch it afterwards and get whatever you get out of it. Okay, so the first thing I was going to tell you about is I read over the weekend a book by Byron Katie called, well, I mean, I got it in Hebrew, even though it's translated from English because I couldn't find it in English. Your love, is it really necessary for me or not? And the thing that I liked about it is that it's similar to faster EFT in the point, or many of the other modalities, in the terms of it puts everything back onto you as opposed as onto the other person who you're having the difficulty with. But it gives it a little bit of a different twist, because within faster EFT and the other modalities that I usually use, when you step into the other person and you actually see that it's really you and not them, you go and you get rid of it right away. Here, you do a little bit more work before you actually end up getting rid of it. So, are you familiar with Byron Katie?
Yes.
So you know the 4 questions, right?
I don't remember them. I practiced them. I think like 10 years ago. Now I completely forgot.
Okay, so let's say make some sort of statement of something that bothers you. It doesn't have to be within a relationship. I mean, this book is specifically about relationships, but it doesn't have to be about relationship. I'll see if I remember it. So I haven't gone to an actual seminar. I do want to go to a seminar. That's one of my next ones on my list. That and Joe Dispenza, which I decided I want to go to his seminar as well. But right now, from what I remember from the book, let's work with that. Okay, so make some sort of statement.
What bothers me that my tendency to collect clothes.
Collect clothes. Okay. So what's your statement? Your statement is, it bothers me to collect clothes.
Yeah, like I feel like I have too many.
Okay. So the first question you would ask is, do you know that that is actually really true?
I think so, yes.
Can you think of any proofs that it's not true?
That's a nice question. Well, I asked myself, this is an inner dialogue. I ask myself, if I did have too many clothes, why is why do I want to buy more clothes?
Okay, yeah.
So that may be a proof why I don't have too many.
You don't have too many clothes. Okay. Now, can you think of 3 opposite statements? For that, I see. How does it make you feel when you think about that statement? I have too many clothes.
It doesn't make me feel good. Definitely.
Okay, and when you think about the fact that maybe you don't have too many clothes, which was what you said, can you actually prove that it is, and what proofs do you have that it's not true? How does that make you feel?
Not good either.
Why not good either?
because it kind of reaffirm my kind of need to buy more, and I want to stop buying more clothes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so make 3 opposite statements to that.
To what?
I buy too many clothes.
Okay. I buy clothes when I need them. I buy
You are
clothes.
the only person in this conference.
Elana, you went away.
Do you hear me?
Now I hear you. What happened?
I don't know. I just suddenly disappeared.
Oh, oh, now you're here again. And
What
it's
happened?
still recording. It's still recording.
Yes, it's a recording. I don't know. I just suddenly bleeped out. Okay. Let's hope it doesn't do that again, because I think that after another 12 minutes, the thing is over. It won't let me
Right.
get back in again. Right.
Right.
Okay. So what was the statement that you said? The opposite statement? The first opposite statement?
I buy clothes when I need them. I buy clothes when I really, really like them.
Mm-hmm.
And if I really feel like I have too many clothes, I can just, give away a few or
Okay. How do those statements make you feel?
a little bit better.
Okay. Now, when you think about going to a store and buying another article of clothing, what do you think of?
Now, I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to go to any store to buy anything.
All right. The work goes somewhere along those lines. I don't know if I have it exactly right. After I go to the seminar, I'll know if I have it exactly right or not. But her point basically is that whatever is bothering you is thus there to teach you something. And then once you get the lesson, you can deal with it in a different, better way, not in the same way that you did beforehand, which was you didn't feel good about yourself about it. Now, when you're dealing in a relationship, I think it's even more important, because let's say your partner does something that really, really annoys you. I don't know, whether it's leaving his dirty clothes on the floor instead of putting it into the hamper, right? And then how does it make you feel? And then you start making the opposite statements of maybe, I leave my dirty clothes on the floor, or there's no hamper to put the clothes in, or whatever way you do it. What it basically does is it takes the anger and the sting out of the annoyance, puts it in a place where you can deal with it from a place of peace. That doesn't mean you have to continue living with it for the rest of your life if it really, really bothers you. But it does put you, it's like, let's say your partner is not faithful and starts, having a relationship with many, many different women, and it really bothers you. So you can come to the point of saying that I love you, but I choose to live in a monogamous relationship. You choose not to, and I love you enough to let you go and live in your own relationships, but that's not for me. So I'm going to say goodbye to you now, which is different than coming from a point of anger of, I can't believe what he did. He hurt me so badly. He, those are things like that. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? And when you're living from a place of peace like that, it's a much better place to live in general.
Right.
I think it can also solve many of the problems, because I don't know. I mean, I couldn't say whether this is true or not, but I remember when I got divorced, I went to someone who was a mediator, but she was also a therapist. And what she told me is that like 90% of the marriages that break up over total nonsense, such as he doesn't take out the garbage, she doesn't make the beds, the house is a mess, or things like that.
I don't believe it. I don't really believe it.
I don't know. She was just a mediator for people who want to get divorced. So I don't know. But my point is this, is that whether it's for that or even for more serious things, I think that once you're coming from a point of view of not from anger, but taking whatever lessons you need to learn for yourself from it and realizing that whoever comes into your life is really just your teacher coming to teach you things. And from a place of peace, you can either decide, okay, I love this person enough, let's try working on it. Or you can decide, I love this person, but it's not something I can live with, so I will come to that person with a place of peacefulness and say, I love you, but I can't live with this. And then the other person could say, oh, you can't live with this, so maybe I can change for you. Maybe I want to change for you because I want to continue the relationship with you. Or maybe the person will say, okay, thanks for being honest, bye-bye. But it still leaves you in a place of more peacefulness as opposed to a place of anger and feeling. And I do know of quite a few people, clients of mine, who have come to me recently. I'm not sure what they're actually coming to teach me, but I'll figure it out. Who are coming from divorces where, for whatever reason, they can't let go of the lack of recognition from their spouse, from their ex-partner. And they need it, and they're holding on to the relationship just because they feel they're not getting the recognition that they need from their partner, when in truth they're not giving themselves the recognition that they need. Because you don't need any recognition from your partner, you need recognition from yourself. And when you get the recognition from yourself, you'll get it from everybody. And if you don't get it from yourself, no matter how many people give it to you, you're not going to get it.
Right.
So it all comes back down to your relationship with yourself.
Right.
And when you have the perfect relationship with yourself, everything else will fall into place. And when you don't have the perfect relationship for yourself, you'll get stuck in all these places where you're looking in all the wrong places for all the wrong things.
Mm.
So that was the first thing I want to talk about today. And then the second thing, which was actually very interesting, is my children are very interested in me getting married. And they keep bothering me. When am I going to start? When am I going to start? When am I going to start? And my son brought up an interesting point, which he's correct about, and I'm taking it to heed. I'll say in a moment. I'm doing a lot of the inner work, right? So we're working with this book, Calling in the One. I have a few other books to work with as well. All the inner work that needs to be done. But he said to me, Mommy, when you want to get a DSLR camera, you went out and you bought a remote control for the DSLR camera before you even had the camera. And I said, you're right. He said, because you were preparing for it, right? And I said, yes. He goes, well, what are you doing to prepare to get married? And then I thought to myself, what I did need to do was things like empty out a closet for whoever it is I'm going to marry, or possibly even take out my thing. I mean, right now my office is in my bedroom, and I certainly hope that when I get married, my office will not be in my bedroom. So maybe I should think about moving my office out of my bedroom already now to make the space in the bedroom for my partner, even though I don't know who the partner necessarily is. But those are, aside from all the visioning and things like that, which we'll discuss next time from the Calling in the One, the book, because that's the next chapter of visioning who you're going to marry. But I think that all those outer things, which is not necessarily the idea of signing up to dating sites or anything like that, it's just physical things that you do inside your house or inside your space, which is preparing you for accepting or bringing in that special person. Any thoughts, ideas?
Yeah, I remember when I was single, I think for about 6 months before I met my partner now, I was definitely making a room in my closet. Like throwing everything I didn't need, really, like tons and sacks out, just to to have more space,
Right.
and just to say, if my partner comes here, he will have some space to put his things whenever he comes to stay with me, or not necessarily to live with me, but
Right.
whenever he comes to stay. And so
Right.
I, there will be an open space.
Interesting, because I'm definitely one of those pack rats who like keeps everything. And before this Passover, when I did my Passover cleaning, which was really spring cleaning, not so much Passover cleaning. I mean, there was Passover cleaning involved as well, but it was a lot of spring cleaning. I must have thrown out half of my house. So
You did?
I definitely did. I threw out half of my house.
Wow.
And I still feel like I have more to throw out, but I didn't yet clean out my closet in my room. So that's the next step, to clean out the closet in my room and make the open space over there. And the other thing is to move my office out of my room, which is another question I was going to ask you, although this we don't have to do over on the recording. So we'll end at this point for the recording on those two important points, which I just made, which is number one, making space for your partner, whoever you want to bring in, so that when he comes, there's a space for him, both physically and emotionally. And
Right.
number two, the idea that you have to first finish working on your relationship with yourself and making that be the best possible relationship, where you give yourself the recognition that you need, the unconditional love that you need, the unconditional acceptance that you need. And when you do all that, then other people will be able to do it too. Because before you do that, even if other people give it to you, you'll never see it.
Right.
You won't feel it and you won't see it. And you'll constantly be lacking it. So see you next week. I want to stop recording. Pause recording. Don't forget, if you like this video, leave a like down below, subscribe to my channel, or subscribe to my newsletter. The address is right down below over there. Have a great week.